Buying. New home sales took a nosedive, down 14.5% in March to the lowest level we've seen since the middle of last year. To real estate maven Dani Babb on what is going on. Dani, welcome to the program. Seems to me there's a problem here with getting a loan. Youngsters getting out there to buy that first house, they can't get loans.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, we have weaker numbers for a lot of reasons, but rising prices is one of them, which obviously contributes to the ability to afford a loan. Tighter qualification standards are certainly playing a role here. Credit card debt, student loan debt, having lower salaries, economic uncertainty, and some young people just want the flexibility to be able to move where the jobs are, which is also decreasing demand in younger people.
Let me focus in on prices for a second. As I understand it, the median price of these new homes went up to $290,000. I think that's a record high. So you've got prices way up, loans difficult to get, people strapped with sometimes student loan debt. That's a bad mix. Is the housing rally over?
I think that we're going to see a pretty flat year and maybe even a dip by the end of the year. It's really tough to tell what interest rates are going to do, obviously, but if they stay at around 4.25 and we continue to see a $290,000 median home price, which is above the conforming limits in some areas, that coupled with the requirement of 6 to 12 months down payment that you have to have in reserves in the bank, and a back-end debt-to-income ratio of 43%, which is hitting married couples as well as single people. Unfortunately, people with graduate degrees who may be most likely to be able to repay this loan long-term are hit double also by student loan debt and student loan repayment.
Just give me a comparison from back in my day, many years ago. You had to have 20% down. You had to have proof of a good job with solid income, and you had well, back in my day, a credit score didn't count, but these days you've got to have a good credit score. How does that situation as a borrower for a mortgage compare to today's situation, trying to get out there and borrow for a mortgage?
It's actually relatively similar, with the exception of FHA-backed loans, which you can, get for the 2.5–3% down range. But actually, most conforming loans today are 20% down. You just have to have more in savings in the bank to qualify for them. And banks they're scrutinizing borrowers a lot more.
And how do you get that 20% down if you've got to save it yourself and you've got a student loan of $100,000 around your neck? We understand.
And credit card debt.
Tough situation. Dani Babb, everyone. Thanks very much indeed.